Well, I am woke now, and I can prove it.
I know you got a lot of problems downtown, but I've got a couple of problems with the house I wish you could take care of.
One, I've got some cats parking in front of the house. I can't
Here you go. I love illegal immigrants.
get out of the office, and that garbage truck next to the office has garbage.
Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look at...
It's a simple thing you can take care of.
Honey, would you come here a minute, please?
Look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them, and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just, come on, lads. Come on, lads.
Well, the left is extremely upset again at Ricky Gervais. This time, it's for pointing out what we all know about the current migrant invasion, not just here in the United States, the illegal alien invasion, not just here in the United States, but over in Europe. The media wants you to think it's all just women and children trying to escape war-torn countries. But the fact of the matter is, that's not true. It's largely military-aged men, and mostly hitting the streets and causing problems for citizens. That's the reality. And Ricky Gervais made a pretty lighthearted jab at it, and it's always, it's great when, comedy can point out some of the more obvious things. You see this comedian Ricky Gervais' new Netflix special when he dropped on Christmas Day has an amusing joke about how the vast majority of illegal boat migrants arriving in England are young men.
Well, I am woke now, and I can prove it. Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them, and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just, come on, lads. Come on, lads. If I go down there one day and there's no boat, I am absolutely fucking gutted. I don't know.
Yep. He's not wrong. And anybody who's ever looked at any pictures or anything like that, that's the case. Well, him pointing that out has spurred dozens of complete meltdowns. Ricky Gervais needs to stop. Ricky Gervais' new Netflix specials try so hard to be edgy, but it's just a total bore. Here's the article from Modernity over at PJW's website. Comedian genius Ricky Gervais' new Netflix special, which dropped Christmas Day, features an amusing joke about the vast majority of illegal boat migrants arriving in England are young men. I mean, I saw a video floating around today where there was a French reporter who was being robbed and harassed live on camera by a migrant. And they blurred the migrant's face in real time to protect him. Gervais faced down the usual backlash of people offended over jokes these days before the special was even made available to watch. Much of the show centered around Gervais trying to define what woke meant now and how the meanings of words are consistently changing, with others being censored just to please terminally offended idiots. And I'm woke now, here you go. So he tells the joke. Gervais also joked about one of the male migrants wanting to go to Gary Linker's house, a celebrity in the UK who constantly bolsters lies about the identity of, quote, refugees arriving in the UK to push for open borders. The joke skewered the false notion, constantly amplified by the media, that virtually all of those arriving illegally in England are genuine refugees, when many of them are just actually economic migrants and are almost always male. Official figures show that around 87% of all arrivals on small boats are men, although even this figure is disputed and may be higher. This is how the West falls, is just mass, uncontrolled invasion. I talked about it at the southern border here in the United States, where there is a current migrant caravan headed towards our southern border that is said to be reaching a size of 15,000 people in one caravan of mostly military-aged fighting men and women who are getting brutally abused. That's who's coming. We're going to give them a debit card with $5,000 on it, a cell phone, and set them free in the city. And just hope for the best. This isn't any longer, the conversation when like our dads were around were literally they took our gerbs. Nobody cares about them taking, quote unquote, our jobs anymore. I'm worried about them taking over entire cities. You go look, and by the way, the people that are coming here have no interest in assimilating. Did you know that? Look at Dearborn, Michigan. Look at the Somali population in Minneapolis. They have no interest in assimilating. They have no interest in interacting with you. They have no interest in helping in your community. None. Zip. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. They have no interest in integrating with you, to being a productive member of your community. They want free land given to them from the United States government to set up mini Somalia, mini North Africa, mini Paraguay, mini this or that. This idea that the United States is a melting pot and people are coming here because... Wrong. They have no interest whatsoever in learning anything about England's history or becoming a productive member of English society. They want their own little neighborhoods with only the people just like them. I wonder why. I mean, look what they do to Tommy Robinson just for pointing out that there are literal no-go zones in his own country now. And because Ricky Gervais said it, the media is having a complete meltdown. Did you see the new Minnesota flag? Is it the Minnesota flag that it's supposed to look like the? Is that true? That might just be a meme. I saw somewhere on the internet like the new Minneapolis flag or the new Minnesota flag looks just like the Somali flag or some crap like that. I mean, that's not the melting pot. That's not a melting pot. And you see the mainstream media is having an absolute meltdown about it. Oh, Ricky Gervais is just trying to be offensive. Oh, he made fun of kids with leukemia. Oh. Now they're upset about the migrant comments. Look at this article they wrote about. This shows how out of touch they are, right? This is an article they wrote once about a Ricky Gervais show, the media. Ricky Gervais in Dublin, intolerant, nasty, grossly offensive, and 11,000 people laughed along. Comedian makes jokes about homeless, illegal immigrants, and inefficient children working in third world labor sweatshops. Ooh, you can't joke about the things that our society, about true things in our society. Just look at their articles. They are absolutely triggered beyond all recognition. Ricky Gervais under fire for jokes about helping illegal immigrants off boats. Come on off the boats, women and children first. Oh, it's just you lads, is it? What's wrong with that? Entirely accurate. 15,000 likes. Real people, like real actual people, no, that's like these comedians now, they're the ones speaking truth to power. It's not a joke, that's the truth. I mean, the whole show will make a joke out of the woke. It's good fun. They continue to melt down. You know, the pictures that they put in the paper are the one boats where they have a baby in it. Women and children is a fallacy. I mean, it's just, wow, punching down again. Look how angry they are. Oh, he punched down again, very cutting edge. Punch down. These people are not here to help and become productive members of your society. They're here to take from you. They want what you have, and they will take it. They will not assimilate. They will not follow your laws, and your government will excuse their behavior. Their government will say, "Oh, it's a different culture." Look at the UK. Didn't they have a throng of these individuals, like 15 people, take advantage of a young girl, and none of them got charged? I need to have like a Jamie on Joe Rogan, but I'm almost positive I saw the headline. It was like 8 or 9 or 10 adult males, and then one girl, and then they're like, "Oh, it's a cultural thing," something like. None of them got charged. That's what your government's not going to protect you. They're letting people willingly leave it. Now, are there good people on these boats? Probably. Probably. Look how long it take. If you look in the UK, look up the UK's grooming gangs, which have been around forever. You know, it's wild to me. And the fact that the people that so like virtue signal this crap on Twitter have never actually had to live in communities that are affected by this. You go right now, you go down to downtown Chicago. What is Eric Adams doing in New York right now? Declaring a state of emergency because too many buses of migrants that his political party want in this country are getting bussed into his city. Look at what the citizens of Chicago are rioting because their schools and their football parks and their city parks are being turned into tent cities for migrants by the people that they voted for. California, same thing. They're all crying in their Kellogg's about how they just can't handle it when they get 1% of what Texas and like New Mexico get. Blaming Republicans. Bro, secure the border. It'd be pretty simple. They don't want that because they want to get these people hooked onto the democratic system. They want more people who live on government handouts, so then they can constantly say, if you don't vote for the guy with the D in front of your name, we're going to take away your government handouts. That's the truth. And I'm tired of sugarcoating it. The Democrats want more people who are dependent on Democrats so then they can lord it over them, just like they do with welfare. It's the same thing they do to inner city black communities. It's the same thing they're going to do with migrants. Well, you don't want... That's why they're pushing for people to be able to vote who are not citizens. You don't want those Republicans to take away your free money. Do you? Well, you better get up. We're going to send a bus to your apartment complex where we put you because we know where you are, and then we're going to bus you down there and you're going to vote. That's where this goes. It's nuts. The left knows it. Ricky Gervais exposed it, and that's why there's 100 articles whining about this one joke.